It's my first solo album. I have recorded as a soloist before, but not a full-length solo album, so I'm excited and really delighted to do this, and with this music, which is so important to me. Just delighted that this will share all of this wonderful work that we've been doing here with those who are willing to listen to. I guess my first Britten experience was to sing Albert Herring in my undergraduate study, and to go on and do the serenade for tenor, horn, and strings in my graduate study in Scotland, and just continued from there. So I did a lot of the operatic work and the art song work and so on. So it's been most of my singing life. I've always been drawn to Britten's music. He's written such wonderful vocal lines for tenor voice, of course, because he wrote so many wonderful things for Peter Pears. And I think what I enjoy most about Britten's music is that he consistently chooses the highest level poetry to set, and he really, I think, is the successor to Schubert in that he really composes the poem itself. He doesn't just reflect on the poem, he gets into the sound of the poem and makes that audible in music. So that really draws me to it. And so I've always performed a lot of Britten since my student days. And JJ and I have then done a lot of these cycles in performance, and we've always wanted to put them down on record. Because Britten and Pears work so closely together, he just understands exactly how the tenor voice works. And his particular choice of vowels on particular notes just work in the same way that some of the great Italian composers did with in opera and Verdi and Rossini. And so I think that that's why they're such a pleasure to sing, because they just work. In terms of these particular cycles, I just think that poetry itself is so remarkable, and I think it's interesting because really good poetry sometimes poses a challenge to composers, and Britten just finds a way. It actually enhances the poetry in a way. I heard about Malcolm through JJ Penna, who's playing piano on this wonderful album. And JJ, I know, has worked with Malcolm in the past with my colleague Elam Ely on recordings, and I know that Malcolm has worked with our choirs here at Westminster Choir College, and I always have been hearing these wonderful things about his work, so I said, well, why not give this guy a try, and it's certainly been a wonderful choice, and I'm delighted to be working with him.
I think it's great to have a young American tenor, because you are young, when doing this repertory. It's great for British music, and you should do Purcell next.
Yes.
It's great to have this English language music not always done by British singers.
Sure.
The three things that you must do, I'll say it publicly while the camera's watching, is Britten, Purcell, and Dowland.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Lovely.
And that fits in with the Dunn era.
Sure.
We need to hear these.